What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of R&B Reviews. I'm Brinder, back with Ridwan, and today we're going to be talking about Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. It's been a little week or so. It's cemented in our minds now. Everybody's got to watch it, hopefully.
Yeah.
So this is a spoiler review. Just go watch it and then come back, check this out. But yeah, let's get into it, man. How did you like the movie?
So this one I was actually excited for. Like this one, I was actually looking forward to it. I was trying to see what was gonna happen. I thought it was gonna be more Inception based. You know how like Inception, like how that movie went. Mm-hmm. So I thought they're gonna do that. So I was like worried that they might like fumble it based off of trying to go like the Inception route.
Yeah.
Which they didn't. And I thought the movie was like good. It was entertaining. It wasn't amazing. I would say it was just good. I thought they added a lot of things that like gave you food for thought on some like the past movies and made like added some interesting theories to like the past movies that we'll talk about. And I was excited to watch this because I watched the What If series and then seeing some of those Doctor Strange characters in the What If series and like some of the things that
potentially seeing them in these ones.
Yeah, so like I thought that was like pretty cool. Like seeing this and seeing the other multiverses was pretty cool. So like overall I thought this movie was good. I don't think it was amazing. I don't think it's like super special. I don't think it's like Avenger-esque, like leave the movie theater like, oh my god, like what did I just watch, amazing or good. But I think it was like a good movie. Like I don't feel bad for spending my money on it. How about yourself?
I really liked it. Like I went in thinking, oh, this movie is gonna suck because every other movie prior I was thinking about like the multiverse.
Yeah.
Spider-Man was a letdown in terms of the multiverse. And then going forward, Secrets of Dumbledore was a letdown to me. So I was like, you know what? Let me just not go on high hopes. And we saw the end credits scene with Doctor Strange asking Wanda for help.
Yeah.
In Spider-Man, where it's No Way Home, I think it was.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was like, yo, they're asking for help. I want to see these guys battle. I was like, yo, this is gonna be a trash movie. So I watched it. And I'm like, yo, this was sick. Like I was really happy of how it turned out. I think it was a great movie. I would say it was like one of the top movies from Marvel. Like top 10 is guaranteed, and then there's debatable for anything else.
Yeah.
But it was like really good, really well done, and they really did show us like how Wanda is like the strongest character. Like there's not a question right now that she's the strongest.
When you first seen that scene, like in the end credits for Spider-Man, and like they were talking like they were gonna be friends, did you know that they were gonna end up fighting, or did you like assume like going in, like sitting in the chair at the movie theater, that's what was gonna end up happening?
Sitting in the movie seat, I was like, cause she went and turned like the force back to what it was.
Yeah.
And it was showing that she was still using the book.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, yeah, she's not evil, but she's gonna be the villain.
Yeah.
Right. So I was like, okay, now I'm happy with it, cause that's what I wanted. I wanted them to fight. Like she's just that much stronger, and it's like comic book level where she's just that much stronger than people, and like you have to show. The one thing I will say is when they did fight, I felt like Doctor Strange was being very like a bitch, and like he was
restrictive.
He was just being soft, like he was scared, like he wasn't fighting.
He wasn't trying to kill her.
He wasn't even trying to fight. Like if you go back and think about like when she attacks and she says, listen, like you have one day to give her up, and if you don't give her up, like I'm coming for her, and I don't care. And then they're like, we're not. He goes up as the leader, even though he's not the Sorcerer Supreme. He's like, listen, Wanda, we're not giving her up. And she's like, all right, you want it that way? We'll have it that way. And then it was just so cool to me, like, because she was like really being like a G about everything. She's like, all right, you want to fight? Okay, we'll fight. And then she's like, just no, like I'm destroying everything. And then he's like, okay, sure. And then they go into protection, and he's like being a general where he's like, yo, protect this side.
Yeah.
She's going after here. Don't do this. She slaughters them all.
Yeah. Like she does the one move and then
just easy. They're all dead, and then they run inside the building. The man doesn't even make like a stand or anything. They run inside the building, they hide, and then he puts her into this like little genjutsu, I guess, where she's in the mirror mirror dimension, and she's like figures out a way to get out.
Oh, through the water puddles, the reflections. Yeah.
So I was like, yo, like this girl, he's not even fighting, and then they end up running away into different dimensions and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, the man didn't even try. He didn't even do like a spell or anything like to just try to stop her. Like the man, he was scared. And in the comics, I'm pretty sure they will fight. Like they go at it. and like he's a sorcerer supreme. Like he's a very smart guy, so he'll put up a battle, even though he will lose. It's like at least compete. He didn't compete at all, and that was the only thing that was like bad about the movie to me. But beyond that, I was like, yo, they really showed how Wanda's like A1 level. Like she's just that destructive, and people were questioning. Oh, they're like, oh, how like she's not the strongest. Like this person's stronger. This person's stronger. Keep in mind in the end game, she was the only one that would fight Thanos 1v1 and was winning. Like that's what she was doing, right?
Yeah.
Everybody else, Captain America,
not die,
Tony,
or not dying.
Huh?
Like she'd fight him 1v1 and not die.
No, she was fighting him 1v1 and was winning.
Was she?
Yeah, she was doing the spells and she's like, you killed Vision, and he's like, I don't even know who that is, or I don't even know you. She said you took everything away from me, and he said, I don't even know who you are.
Yeah, that was a sick line.
And then she's like, well, you're about to, and then she's like smoking with her magic. He's in pain. She has him in like the Scarlet Chaos magic power, and then he calls to his ship to send a airstrike on his own men so she could get hit, and then she would let him go. That's what happened. She was dusting him by himself. I guarantee, like, I'll put money down.
I believe you. I watched it once in theater, so.
Oh, okay.
When it was first out in theater, that's the last time I watched it.
And so then people are questioning, like, if she's strong enough. Then she has her show where she goes and has Westview, and then she knows she's like the Scarlet Witch, and then she has the Book of the Damned. What's it called?
The Darkhold.
The Darkhold, yeah. So then she gets that level of magic, and it's like, no, you can't touch her. Like she's just different.
She becomes unstoppable.
Pretty much, like she's and she's a Nexus being too, which is a nice thing to see.
You know what's crazy? I almost hated the her character, and the hypocrisy coming from her character made me hate her as a character. I don't think she was bad for the movies, but I just had so much dislike for her
hypocrisy
and her hypocrisy about like. First in WandaVision, when she was creating that like little town and how she was controlling everyone so that she could create this like happy town for her mythical kids that don't really exist. And then like when she found out like, hey, there's these kids in all these like alternate universes, and then her ultimate plan was to take those kids away from their real mom or the mom that's in their universe, and then be a placeholder mom to her. So then when I was seeing that, like, I just hated the idea of that hypocrisy and her idea of like, I'm willing to do anything to be with these kids that are mine, even if it means I hurt other people. So and I'm not trying to say like that didn't make the movie bad, but I just didn't like her, and not I didn't like the character,
like her reasoning.
Yeah.
So but you like to say the word empathy as a joke sometimes, but I'm gonna throw that back at you. So in the Westview Hex thing, she didn't know she was controlling the people. Like that was another plot point of the story. Like she's being told like, listen, you gotta let these people go, and she's like, what are you guys talking about? She was subconsciously doing that, and that's because she didn't have a control over her magic or knew what she was doing. So that like you gotta give a pass because she doesn't know what she's
But she would avoid facing the truth.
But like a lot of that's a human thing to do, and then as a mother to lose your kids that you feel is real and the world is telling you no.
It's
like,
a good thing you feel is real.
Because you feel is real is like an empathetic thing, because my mother will do anything. Like that's we know that stuff. And in her opinion, like yes, she's taking them away from herself, but she's also only harming herself, even if it's a different version of herself. She didn't have any remorse because she's like, it doesn't matter about those people. It's only about my kids.
I think also there's another thing that a lot of people talk about, but they say it's a joke, but I don't think it's a joke. I think it's dead serious. Is she literally could reproduce 2 more kids. She could never, it's not that she could never not have a baby. She could literally reproduce and have 2 more kids. There's probably a lot of people who would be willing to have kids with her.
But that's that's another thing that you can say to like, and it's like a bad thing to say. Like say if a person has their kid died, you can't just tell them like, yo, you can have another kid. Like it doesn't work like that, because you still
but that's lose. Technically what she's doing.
No, it's not a math problem, right? To her it's not a math, like she lost something. She can have 2 kids, but they won't be those kids. Like she's still lost, you know what I'm saying?
But I completely understand what you're saying.
I don't know
but even when she goes to the multiverse, those aren't her kids.
I can't relate this to you, but say if you have one thing, like your most valuable possession, right? say if I take it away and I give you a substitute, something similar.
Yeah.
It's not the same thing. And as a mother, like, even if you have 14 kids after one died, that one is still like something missing from your life. That's
I understand what you're saying, but like those two, I guess like those two kids, like, because it's an alternate universe, is like as similar as possible. Like they're replicas. Like they're like, you had kids A and B in universe 1, then you know you're gonna get kids A and B in universe 2, and they're gonna be like 99.9. I guess when you have another kid, like, it's not the same. But the fact that she wasn't even ready to explore that option, and I guess and I know it's a movie, and I'm not picking at it. I'm not saying this is why the movie is bad, but it just made me hate her. Like, I wanted to see her lose so badly. Well, they did paint her as a
villain, and like she's using the Darkhold, which is like corrupts people.
Yeah. It was that actually does justify what she does do.
It was sending like voices of those same kids saying "help me," right, to her. So to her, like, it's like, it's something that you can't really avoid.
Did you notice when I don't know if he talked about it, when Doctor Strange, he used, this is kind of jumps to the end, he uses the Darkhold book, right, to defeat her, and then he realizes Wanda destroys the Darkhold, like, so no one can use it. Did you see the disappointment in his eyes when he hears that she destroyed it?
Did I see the disappointment in his eyes?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
He had like a little bit of like, when I think Wang tells him like, oh, it's destroyed, he's like, oh, like he looks a little bit disappointed. He would have been corrupted by the Darkhold if it was to have still existed.
Yeah, because his other version got corrupted.
I thought he was going to be incorruptible by using the Darkhold. Well,
we know from his character, like, he's not the most, maybe like it won't corrupt like Captain America or somebody.
I think our universe is one of the few universes where he's actually like not a bad guy.
Because he sees things play out, like, but he's not a bad guy because he sees other people as bad. Like, it's like learning from your experiences. He learned from your, like, me and you, the same person. Yeah. You fucked up. I learned from that. Yeah. So he's like, okay, well, because in the opening we see like other Doctor Strange say, oh, you're not gonna be able to control your powers, America.
Yeah. That's actually kind of savage.
And it's the same line that he always uses, like, this is the only way. Like, that's it. That's all he says. And eventually he sees how it plays out, that Doctor Strange is wrong. This one's wrong. They all did the same thing. And I think America said she's been to 72 universes. So say if there's like 60 plus of them, Doctor Strange tries to screw her over. This one's like, okay, well, I can't do the same thing. We're going to get the same outcome.
The America character too, like, what do you think? I thought she was a good character.
I thought it was trash.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, where did this come from? Like, I've never heard of her before. I never heard
of her, but like in the movie, like, I liked her character.
I didn't like her character. I felt like it was very like Disney-esque, and it was like I forget who says it. I think it was Hector that says it, or our friend Hector. I think it was they're like, oh, this girl was so childish. It's like she came out of the movie Shark Boy, or something like that. And it's like, when you think about it like that, it's like, yo, she literally jumped from Shark Boy over to this.
She was sarcastic.
She looks so childish.
But she was supposed to be like a child.
She's a child, but it looks like so kiddish. Like, the movie seemed like, it looks like literally she jumped from the Shark Boy universe over to the R-rated Multiverse.
She looks like a Shark Boy character, or like she could be in like one of those characters in that show. Mm-hmm. But like, when I'm like looking at her and like hearing her jokes and like hearing her talk and hearing her speak, like I kind of liked her character. Like, I thought her character was cool. Like, I thought specifically her character was funny. That's what I thought. I thought you would like share the same sentiment. Like, I thought the stuff that she said, and like she was talking to Wang, and like they're making jokes about Doctor Strange. I thought that stuff was funny. And I did like, one thing I did like too is I know it's like minor, but when she asked him like, why should I be able to trust you? He's like, well, I have nothing to tell you. Like, you're gonna have to come with us and find out. Mm-hmm. I actually like that. I don't know why, and it's not like significant. It's not special, but that, like, I don't know. That kind of meant I like seeing that. I did like when they went. I didn't like when they went to another universe, and they called it 682, 683, universe 686. What universe did they go to?
813, something like that.
Oh, hold up. Universe. Anyways, they go to universe 813, and then the universe in the comic books is 616, right?
Like the main one,
the main one. The universe in the cinematic universe is also 616. I think they should have changed it. Instead of 616, I think they should have made it like 617, so we can see like, oh, these are two very different
similar things, but
two different. I really hated that they made it 616 because it's not the exact same. If you're gonna do a carbon copy, okay, 616. If you're not gonna do a carbon copy, do like 617.
I definitely see where you're coming from, because it's kind of like the Harry Potter thing where I'm adamant on how things are done in a certain way.
Yeah.
You've been reading comics longer than I have, and like it makes sense for it to be a carbon copy of 616. I think they just did it as more of like a fan service to say, oh, like, hey, this is the same thing that you're reading, but then they didn't like think too much on it, like that people are gonna be like, oh, you're ruining what I was reading. Like, they just didn't pay too much mind to it.
There's one thing I want to add, but it would interrupt and completely shift from what you're saying.
That's fine. I'm
all right. So one thing that I did want to look into, or like I was deeping into, is the witchcraft versus sorcery, or something along the lines of witchcraft versus sorcery.
I mean, you had pretty similar theories on like what they meant.
The thing. So I don't want to read this like word for word, but like basically like people are asking like, oh, why isn't Wanda the Sorcerer Supreme when she's like the most powerful? And then like looking at it or like reading what people are saying, they're saying that.
Let's give our opinions on it first. Yeah.
Okay. So to that question, I just seen that question right now, and I just read his answer. But like to that question, I think the reason why she's not Sorcerer Supreme.
No, not the question. What's the difference between sorcery and?
I think sorcery is based off of like some sort of like physics or like science, like adjusting like the sciences. Where I think witchcraft is adjusting the reality of things. Like when she like made the guy's mouth like disappear, like it affected reality. And I know they're both kind of like intertwined, but I think like the sorcery stuff that we seen like affected like the physics or like made changes to like the physical environment, and then witchcraft was like making changes to like our reality, which
is a genuine answer, because we talked about this in our group chat as well, and I said like the same. I said a similar thing. I've actually pondered this question even prior to this movie. Yeah. Because I'm not sure if you know the movie Sorcerer's Apprentice. And in the first Harry Potter book, it's actually called Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Yeah. And then it gets changed to Philosophers for America for some reason. I guess they don't like the word. I actually don't have a reason. Like, I don't know why they do that. But it does get changed. So sorcery's kind of like alchemy in a sense. Yeah. And to me, it was like there's a universal like code or like a science behind everything. Yeah. So they're actually taking advantage of that science and making portals like to go through. So it's more science related towards the universe itself. While magic, especially for Wanda's, it is reality changing. Like, and she has that ability, and she like we know now that she's like a nexus being where reality can change, but she can't. Things like that. So magic can change the things around you, while sorcery takes advantage of it. That's like the basic answer that we've had, both of us, and it's kind of similar. But yeah, what's the question going on here?
I think okay, so what they said is that the reason why she might, and this is not like, this is just like a fan answer, the reason why she wouldn't be Sorcerer Supreme is because she never learned anything, and she was like born like she was born a sorceress. So like they look at it like he looked at it like two completely different things. But I think the reason why she wasn't a Sorcerer Supreme, because along with becoming a Sorcerer Supreme, you have to manage your emotions. You have to be able to make decisions. Like they look at like the personality traits of the sorcerers for Sorcerer Supremes
before they're allowed to be sorcerers. Like Doctor Strange wasn't going to be allowed to be a sorcerer because of his personality and him always wanting to be right. Him wanting to, like, his ego, like they made a point of that in the first film, but she, like the Sorcerer Supreme, the ancient one, was also able to see that he was going to be the best sorcerer of all time. So
and they're talking about like they picked apart like different things and how the colors of the powers are different. Doctor Strange and the rest of like the people in that camp, I forgot where they went, all use yellow. She said Agatha's coven all blue. Agatha specifically was like purple. Wanda's is red and like distinct to her. And she said that all of the people who were like witches were born witches, whereas all of the people who are sorcerers like learned which you kind of brought up. But there was nothing like, I was looking for something like specific, like, because I know their powers had to be slightly different. Like even when you seen them use their powers, you could see like they one was using things that the other like wasn't necessarily like.
Well, thinking back on it, like he always fights by like exactly what we said. He fights by like using what's in his environment.
Yeah.
And like the universe itself. Well, Wanda can just create things or
Out
like
of
take
nowhere.
things away. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like that's the difference between their powers. The one thing that like kind of like doesn't make sense or we need explanation for it is, so why are they both able to use the dark hold? The dark hold would have spells and stuff. So if their powers are different, where one's sorcery, one's wizard, one magic, then why are they able to use a spell book that's magic related, because it's for Scarlet Witch, right? For chaos magic.
I would be a little bit cheesy if I realize like it's all the same thing, except like how you end up using those powers is different. Like say like there's a huge pool of like magic and spells, and they all have access to the huge pool, but how you end up like getting access to that pool like might be different. Like maybe like you still have to learn the same spells, but Doctor Strange, since he spends more time learning the spells, he like learns like the documentation on the spells he uses is more accessible than the natural abilities that Wanda
has. Yeah, because Wanda just kind of like it's her emotions that do it.
Yeah.
While sorcery, you're not supposed to have emotions to do it. So I don't know.
I would hate if it was the same.
I think it is a difference. So they'll have to explain it to us.
Yeah, I'd have to like do. I guess the answer is not out there. I still think we have the best answer. Like after like doing a quick look, like I haven't seen anyone with a better answer than the one we had.
So that's what you get at R&B reviews, man. Just solid thinking.
I'm trying to think of what else. I liked America. I'm shocked that you didn't.
What
like
did you
America.
think about America's powers of being able to multiverse travel? Because she was the main point in terms of the multiverse.
Is that how they explained it? Like she was the main point.
Like Wanda wanted to see her kids, and she needed
her
America, which is the only person to be able to travel. There's only one of her in all
multiverses.
There might be a bunch of her, but she's the only one that can do that. It's kind of like saying there's a bunch of Wandas.
Yeah.
But there's only one Scarlet Witch.
I don't know. Like I don't know. I didn't really feel like that was like a good explanation, or I just didn't really like that like theory.
Because it came out of nowhere.
Yeah, like
right.
I just didn't really like that theory, but she technically came out of nowhere too. I would like if they said, "Oh, we don't know if she's the only one because she's only been to like so many units." Because she said she's only been to like 72, right?
Yeah.
And I think there's supposed to be.
But she's also super young, and she doesn't know how to control her powers.
Exactly. So
we know she's the only one with that power because that's the only one Wanda goes after.
But maybe Wanda doesn't know that, like, maybe until she came into the universe, Wanda didn't know that she was, like, out there that existed. Like, Wanda might have only sensed her when she came into Wanda's universe.
No, she came to Wanda's... No, she was getting chased when she was in other universes.
Yeah.
So Wanda knew about her. Wanda was sending... She was sending demons after her.
Oh, was Wanda the one that was sending those demons after her?
Yeah.
Oh, that I didn't know. Yeah. I still like the character, the multiverse hopping. I thought was like a cool like plot line and like a cool story.
We finally get to see something.
So some of the other universes, and I liked how they added like funny effects. Like they had the universe of like paint and stuff like that. I feel like it was perfect for memes. Like, cause you could be like, oh, this is, and I know we've made jokes like that before, but like, oh, this is the universe where like this guy does this, or like this is the universe where like this guy's actually funny. But like I don't know, like I kind of like her abilities. I liked her powers. I don't like how they said that she was the only one, and yeah, like I don't know, like I liked everything about like that character. But is there anything about that character that like came to mind where you said you didn't like her, but do you like her power?
Her powers is whatever. I think it was just kind of like escape.
Actually, let me steal something. She didn't like nothing that they said interacted with what Loki's like TV show like was going through or was talking about, or like nothing like interacted with like that series. I didn't like that because it's like it feels like this is the perfect time to even like just name drop or mention, or just I don't know, like something of like interaction between those two should have been connected in like this movie. It doesn't have to be big, but just maybe even something small.
Small, like how Doctor Strange said, oh, they asked Doctor Strange, do you have any experience with multiversal issues? And he's like, yeah, I do with Spider-Man. Like,
yeah.
At least they mentioned it. This one, like Loki, they never mentioned it, but they also would have no idea what's going on. I don't know why it didn't happen, because like when does the Loki thing happen? Like where is Loki in the timeline? Is it in the future? Like what's going on?
Yeah, that's so hard to tell.
So I didn't like that too because I wanted it all to connect. But
wait,
then
are they're also multi-dimensional, or are they only time dimensional?
What do you mean?
In Loki, like, can they only go between times, or do they go between dimensions? Because Kang went between dimensions, right?
Kang went through the dimensions.
Okay,
he was the only one, and it just broke. Like where we leave off is the timeline just broke, and now there's different universes going through that wasn't within the plan of Kang. So we see that we don't know what time that happens, which is okay. The reason why like I settled down on that is because we have to we're looking at like a bunch of crossovers and stuff.
Yeah. And
we've actually been lucky to see the Spider-Man crossover, now this one, and we're getting our hopes up too much because it's only phase 4. Like it's a pretty much like a whole cycle again, right? Like we want phase 1, 2, 3, 4. This is phase 5 or something like that. So now we have to wait for phases to be done
and everything to connect.
Yeah. But I did like it was cool to see that America's powers. I just didn't like the character or the actress or however it was. It seemed like they were just pushing too many things that I just didn't care about. I did really like the fighting. Wanda was super sick, and then we get to see her actually go into a different universe
with the kids. Are you talking about with the kids or just in general?
In general, what she takes over the body of the girl with the kids.
Yeah.
And then we see the Illuminati, which was like a big thing, right?
Yeah,
like that was massive. We get to see Mordor, whatever his name is. We finally get to see him. We didn't see him since the first Doctor Strange movie. The man was absent. We get to see Inhumans with Black Bolts. They had their own Doctor Strange that apparently died in that one. They have Captain America, but it is a different. What's her name again? Peggy Carter.
Yeah.
And then Captain Marvel is Maria Rambeau rather than Brie Larson's character.
Yeah.
So it's really cool to see, and then we see the X-Men, and then we see Reed Richards, which was like a favorite thing.
Reed Richards was pretty cool.
John Krasinski plays him. That was a really sick moment to see all that because I was like, this is epic. This is the first time we get to see about Inhumans and mutants.
You think they're gonna bring those characters back?
It's possible. I don't think they're gonna bring the X-Men Professor X back.
Yeah.
Because he's also very old now.
Yeah.
Like, I think they were just doing that as fan service.
Yeah, I think so.
John Krasinski is a fan service moment too, but there's no reason why they can't bring him back because they already hinted towards Fantastic Four, and everybody really wanted him to play it, and now we get a taste of it, and then they see people's reactions. Like, why not bring him back? You know?
Yeah. I feel like another thing about that scene that I liked is like, it felt like gruesome in a way, and it was shockingly gruesome. Like, it was actually one of the few moments where I was like completely shocked. Like when they started killing
you're
the
big on like this Disney movie. How can do this?
And then they turned the one guy into spaghetti. They closed the guy's mouth, and his head literally blew up. So
that was lit. That was
crazy. I feel like changed the whole vibe.
Reed Richards like, listen, Wanda, we don't want to have to do this. I'm a dad too. We have kids, you know. We don't want to take your Black Bolt over here. One word and you're over with. And she's like, with what mouth? Like,
and then he had no mouth, and then it was great, and he spoke.
And the acting was really good too because you'd think, oh, like don't speak, but like you lost your mouth, like you've never seen that happen. So like
instinctually, you're like, what the?
At fears, you like, you just say even like a little word, and then they just like, I think they showed in the what's it called in the movie, where like his mouth starts glowing where his mouth would be, and then it just explodes inward and kills him.
That was crazy.
That was insane. Crazy. But this was the first R-rated movie. Like we were told this is gonna be like horror-esque, and the director is a horror director.
Movie?
Yeah.
I guess he did good with like the restraints on like restraining himself. Doctor Strange still doesn't get the girl in this universe too.
Yeah, that
felt kind of bad because like every single universe, even in What If, like he still has those issues. What else?
It looked like he was gonna get the other one where she actually lets him go and then fights with him. It looked like they were gonna be together for that one, but they know they can't. Which I don't know let's finish the plot point of like the Illuminati.
Yeah.
So Mordor's like, I never really liked this guy, and Doctor Strange is like, you've been hating on me from the jump, right? And then John Krasinski's like, yo, how did you kill this man? He gets turned into spaghetti. And then I don't know if you noticed at the end. I didn't notice this till I watched like some YouTube footage.
Yeah.
His head explodes.
After he turns into spaghetti.
His body turns into spaghetti, and then his head explodes, and it's a little red like thing.
No, I didn't notice.
And it explodes, and then she takes out Captain America, which is easy work. Like she just takes the shield
and bounces back
with energy. She should have just did it more emphasized, but slaughters her. You're dead. The Captain Marvel should not have died as easy, because if anything, she has the most power to. She's pretty much the strongest MCU character.
There's no way she could have died like from that like
from a fall of like a statue.
Yeah, like they should have came up with something like way more creative than what
she has the ability to like pretty much almost destroy a world. Like how is a statue killing her?
That was a bad.
That was lame. Professor X was a little lame too, in my opinion. But like it's a whole X-Men. I'm not a big X-Men guy, just because those movies always sucked me.
Yeah.
But he goes into the mind, does his signature thing, and then she kills him in the mind. But she just like snaps his neck, and then which is in a demon form, she snaps his neck. Yeah. That was lit though. I'm not gonna lie.
I find that like. I just found that scene like neutral. Like I didn't think too much of it, but I was like, okay, that's like the way of like killing, because he was trying to save the original Wanda, and then maybe it was a hint that the original Wanda was still in there, but they're just like they couldn't reach her. And then after that scene was like a really good scene. I think that made the movie like really great. Like adding that scene,
it made it big time, because it also like we know she's powerful, but like how powerful is she? Now it's like the whole Illuminati couldn't touch her. And it wasn't like the whole like you're missing Tony Stark, you're missing like I'm pretty sure Black Panther's in it at one point. You're missing certain characters, but it's like she took these characters with no sweat. Like those characters aren't touching her. And then she did like the whole zombie thing where she's like walking and chasing them, and Doctor Strange is still running away from and Doctor Strange is running away from her dream walking into her other self. It's not actually Wanda. It's Wanda dream walking into another Wanda. Right?
Oh, okay, yeah.
So she's not at full power, in my opinion, I would assume. And he's still running away like a coward. And then her legs like hurt or something, and she's walking like a zombie, because they hinted towards like the what if stuff.
Yeah,
she's like walking like a zombie, and then they did the zombie thing in the future with Doctor Strange. I don't know about you, the face looks stupid. They shouldn't have done that. They should, or the makeup looked dumb. Like they should have made it look better as a zombie, but it just didn't work for me. And then they finally get that book, the Book of Ashanti, which apparently gives any sorcerer any spell they need to win whatever situation they're in, apparently. And then the good thing is that they did destroy that, because it wasn't like an easy win situation. It wasn't like a video game, right? It just gave you the hope, and then it crushed your hope when she destroyed it, which was cool. I like that.
I'm trying to think of what any other things. Like the ending wasn't like something that was like super like special to me. Like it was another fight. I think like once I got to the ending, like the movie was like cemented as like good or bad for me. So I was like, it was like good. Yeah. Because I kind of knew what was gonna happen in the end. I did think some of the scenes towards the ends were cool. So like plotline, I don't really have a lot of questions plotline wise. But do you have anything that you want to say plotline wise? Because I have questions, but not like I don't have anything to say about like the plotline.
I did like her when America's like, oh, let me like. Because she punches and she's able to use her powers now. Yeah. She's like, let me send her to where she needs to go. And it's like she's thinking hell. So we know there's a hell. Yeah. So Wanda doesn't go to hell. And then she's like, you know what? All right, I won't beat this lady. Let me just send her to the kids that she wants. She sends her to the kids, and then Wanda quickly realizes like what she's doing is wrong because of the reactions off of her kids. Yeah. And she's like, yeah, I can't do what I want. I teared up at
that scene.
You teared up? Yeah. What a coward.
It was sad.
It was sad because she's still a mom at the end of the day. And then I did like the other Wanda saying like, just know they're loved, because she knows like she would be driven to that point if she had lost her kids, and she can see it, and she was very understanding, which I did like about that. Yeah.
I just see like me, like if it was me and I went to another universe and it was me taking care of my like replica kids, I would already know that they're good.
Yeah,
like,
but you're also gonna be a parent that's not like involved heavily.
as
apparently.
active, but I would know that's good enough. Like I'd see him, I'd be like, "Oh, you're here." He'd be like, "Yeah, I'm here." I'm like, "Oh, okay." She could have went.
Kids are straight.
She could have went to another universe where they were orphaned.
Your other self is gonna look at you like, "Yo, you want to take over babysit for a second?"
Like, nah, I'm good, brother.
I want to do this. No.
She could have went to another universe where they're orphaned, but I'm not gonna do. I'm looking too deep into it, but
she could have. That's a very good answer.
That'd be one of the best universes.
But there's also theories that before the theories start, when she attacks Kamartaj, and she gets into the mind of the one sorcerer, then she breaks through their defenses, slaughters them. There's one guy like still crawling, and she just blows that man up. That was savage. I did enjoy that. I was like, yo, this is sick.
That didn't make you feel like
she's evil? I was like, yeah, she's kind of evil. Like, but she did warn them. Like, what do you want? Like, what do you want?
I guess that's true because it's a war. But like, she did not have to do that.
I might be a tiny bit biased. Like, she has reason for everything, but I might be a tiny bit biased because I really like her as a character, and like, she might be my favorite at the moment. And her power level is insane, and I love the fact that they showed it.
They might get rid of, but isn't she like?
At the end, they did show her like, oh, I gotta get rid of this. I have to do my thing, and like that was lame as shit. And then, but you can't kill her. Like, what is that gonna? That's not gonna kill her. She's alive. I think they just did that so she can disappear for a little bit and then come back when needed, even if she's not needed. Because like,
how did you survive? Oh,
like, listen, I killed all of the Illuminati and all the sorcerers in Kamatage. I'm gonna die because of a statue. Come on, man.
Yes. My thing is still after like the plot line. It has to do with like the future stuff.
Go ahead, yeah.
All right, so America, do you think they're gonna make like a young Marvel like group or a young Avengers?
It looks like they're headed that way.
And then do you think America's gonna be part of the young Avengers?
Yeah, but I feel like she's gonna be so shit. Like, I question what she's. You really
she's
like
this? She's a funny character. I feel like she's mad funny.
I don't find her that funny. Like, she's okay, but like, what is she gonna do? Like, just
she has other powers now. She just unlocked.
Oh yeah, she does a sorcerer. She just looks stupid. Like, the actress, unfortunately, I just don't like her as like a superhero.
You're sleeping. I think the chemistry between her and Peter Parker
would be lit. Tom Holland looks like a superhero. The man's a D's and like
he's not that. He doesn't look that much like a superhero.
He looks like man.
He fits as a Spider-Man because he doesn't look too.
But he looks like a superhero. He plays the role really well. He's probably the best Spider-Man. Easy.
Yeah. He is definitely one of the best.
What is America gonna do? And we never heard of America. Like, now she's in the Young Avengers out of nowhere. She's able to jump through different universes and has Doctor Strange powers. She's all right.
I think she'll be good.
What's gonna happen? They're fighting somebody that they can't beat, and she's like, "Let me just travel to this universe."
Yes.
They go to that universe, and then she finally meets her parents, the two moms. So what are you guys doing? I thought you were dead. Like, all this nonsense.
No, I think America will be good. I'm actually interested in seeing how her character plays out. I think I want to know who will be the leader of these young Avengers. Like, who's gonna be like?
It has to be Tom.
No.
It can't be anybody else. Nobody's as good.
Spider-Man's character doesn't make him.
This is Earth 616 of the MCU, not the comics, brother.
They need someone that's like, you know, when you have like the Teen Titans, you have Robin, right?
Yeah.
You have the Young Avengers from before. I can't remember who it was in the comic books, but you have your Captain America. Like, each team has like this.
Miss Marvel looks terrible.
The
show.
Is the show or the movie?
The show. They had like trailers coming out.
With the Hulk?
No, Miss Marvel. She's like remember the Pakistani high schooler.
They call it something. Hector sent it to me, but they call it something else. No,
it's Miss Marvel. But she has like the actress.
Isn't there already a Miss Marvel?
No, that's Captain Marvel. Oh. No, it's MS.
What? I didn't watch the trailer. Is the trailer?
I didn't watch the trailer. I just saw it. Yo, that's her. Like, it's so bad, bro.
But you didn't even watch the trailer, so how do you know it's bad?
Because I looked at her and I'm like, yo, this isn't gonna be it.
It's not out yet.
No, it's coming out.
I don't think they're gonna make her. Oh my god!
You're telling me that doesn't look bad? Like, the actress, unfortunately, she looks very kiddish, like super kid. That's not even doesn't even look like a high school.
They might be trying to emphasize that.
I don't know.
They might be trying to target high school kids.
I don't know, man. That didn't look good to me, but whatever.
I gotta see the trailer. I'm gonna watch the trailer.
Anybody from the MCU leading besides Tom Holland is tough.
No,
it's bad.
they gotta create a new character. Tom Holland isn't a.
If you create a good character, a new character, you have to like emphasize like his leadership, because Tom, like you reference so much of Tony Stark and Captain America.
But
Steve
Tony
Rogers.
Stark was a known bad leader.
No, he wasn't. He was They were saying he was a bad leader, but he did everything right.
He didn't have the characteristics.
He didn't have the leadership, but he was the leader. Steve Rogers kept saying, like, everybody went to Steve Rogers as like the leader, but when it came down to it, Tony was the man. Nothing happened, and that's the first four phases of MCU. Nothing happens beyond Iron Man. Iron Man led the MCU. He's the main.
Tony was the bank account.
No, he was the main guy. Nothing goes down with. They don't get time travel. Steve Rogers was sitting in a council meeting after 5 years after the man Thanos slaughtered half the universe. He was sitting there doing what? We gotta move on. It's tough, but we gotta do it.
Well, wasn't Tony Stark in the same situation?
Tony moved on with his life.
Tony moved on.
He said, okay, like if we lost, we lost. Let me move on. Let me get the kids. And then they're like, Lang had to go say, yo, we have this idea. And then Steve Rogers like, okay, we might be able to do this. Can we do this? And like, only happens because Tony does it. Tony's the main reason why everything gets done. Tony's the man. And like, yes, he made mistakes, but that's the human aspect of it. Steve Rogers is too high up on like the chain of like, oh, he always does everything right. But Tony's like the guy that like messes up everything, and then he ends up correcting himself to be the main guy. Without Tony,
I would say yes, he's the main guy.
They're like the yin and yang, but like Tony, like even in the Illuminati, you will send the leader of the Avengers, Peggy Carter. That's why she's in the Illuminati, because in her universe she's the leader. In Earth 616 of the comics, who is it? Not Steve Rogers, that bum. It's Tony.
But
it's Tony. Tony's the man.
I really don't see it as Tony, because even when you look at the Justice League, you have
Batman versus Superman.
Batman or Superman as one of the leaders.
And Batman
right?
is the leader.
And
Batman's the leader of the Justice League.
It's usually Superman that's the leader. No, Batman is the one that's
Superman is the strongest, but he's not the leader.
But he has the characteristics that make him the leader.
Because he's the all good person and stuff. But the leader of the team is always Batman.
The thing is with these comic books is the best person on the team isn't the leader on the team.
That's Superman is the best person on the team because he does everything.
Technically it's Batman, because
he's smart.
Batman can defeat all of those guys.
But without prep time, he can't beat all of them. But Superman has everybody's powers. He even has Batman's smart stuff, and he's a detective level.
He's not Batman smart, but he's smart.
He's like almost as smart as Batman is. But so he has everybody's, but he's not that guy. Steve, like he's up there, but he's not the guy. Steve Rogers is up there, but he's not the guy.
Steve Rogers is not the guy, but he's the leader. In line.
He's the leader. Tony's the guy.
It's like Teen Titans. You have Robin.
Yeah, but that's a different scenario.
And Robin isn't the. Robin is like created him.
So why is the leader of the Avengers is in the Illuminati and Tony Stark is the guy?
Tony Stark wasn't in the Illuminati though.
In 616
he is. But the only reason why he is there is because he partnered up with, he's one of the richest, and he partnered up with the government to betray the heroes.
For the Illuminati?
No, in the Earth 616. The reason why he's considered the leader of like the Avengers is because Steve Rogers left the Avengers during the Civil War.
Oh, okay.
And then that made him anti, but Tony Stark was one of the leaders, not because he was the best leader, but because he was willing to partner up with the government.
Okay, but in the MCU, he's the leader. He was willing to partner up with the government, but regardless of that,
we need to do a poll.
Tony Stark was the because you can even say from phase to phase, and he takes that last sacrifice from phase 1 to whatever it is, phase 4. Tony's the reason why everything happens.
Yes,
he's the main
but
character.
He's not the leader of them. People look to Steve as a leader.
They look to him as a leader because that's his whole like storyline. Like he's not the smartest guy, but he has leadership qualities. But when things get to the toughest, all he is the guy that just won't quit. That's it.
But you don't need Steve doesn't have to be the like best to be the leader. He just has to know how to delegate. Tony is a very individualistic person. If Tony could do it, he would have everyone do he would do it all on his own.
Yeah, I don't know. In the MCU, I think the leader is Tony. Like it was always like one or the other.
Yeah.
But I think it ended with Tony.
I guess we'll see. I still don't think Peter Parker.
Because even remember when Steve says you're not the one to make the sacrifice play. He's saying because he's the one to make the sacrifice play. Yeah. But ultimately, who made the sacrifice play? Steve would have been just fighting, keep getting up, getting smoked by Thanos, unless it was for Iron Man bringing everybody back with his time travel theatrics and his
quick thinking or quick snapping.
Everything like the man, he was the man.
I'm not arguing that he's not the biggest player.
For Young Avengers, if you have a new character, you're throwing away everything you built with Tom Holland's Spider-Man.
No. Yeah. You're not throwing away. You're not throwing it away
because they hinted. I don't know if you were deep diving into this. They really hinted towards him being the combination of both Iron Man and Captain America. The leadership qualities of always doing right, plus being the smart guy that like does the stuff.
But his personality traits, like when you see him, like
because he's a kid still,
the way he acts, well, even if he's a kid, like. I just don't see him as having a large group, and they're like Peter, what do we do based off of his personality trait?
You do, because in Spider-Man No Way Home, the three Spider-Mans were fighting against the bad guys, the villains, and they weren't working well together. And why they weren't working well together is because they're known to be individual superheroes. They're not a team-based thing.
Yeah.
And then they got together and said, listen, I was a part of the Avengers. I know how to play as a team. And they're like, you know I'm right.
That's a good point. That's actually a very solid point.
They're like, the Avengers, is that a boy band? He's like, no, this is what we're gonna do. I'm Spider-Man 1. Why? Because he's the man. Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 3. And then he handled business. Like, that's how you do it. And then he made the sacrifice play of having everybody forget who he is, his family, his aunt's still dead, and then his girl and his friend, let them go do his thing. He's gonna go work on himself, and he's growing into like the leader. The Young Avengers, I don't know if they're gonna be middle school, high school range only, but he's in college now, so he's growing out of that, but now he's college level, so he may advance, but he is a leader nonetheless. We'll already set everything up. You can't take it away from me. That doesn't make sense.
We'll see how it ends up. Like I'm actually genuinely curious to see how it ends up, but we'll see if he ends up being the leader or if he ends up being like the side, like one of the main. But like I still think they need more characters to have this like Young Avengers thing.
I think it's just a setup. We
and
won't see
Tom
it for
Holland,
years.
Who even knows if they end up putting Tom Holland in the Young
Avengers? Probably not.
It could be like another set of like really young characters.
If it's 5 years from now, and I saw a lot of people saying like, don't ever believe the Sony versus Marvel beef, and like they will have like they'll say, like we won't sign again, and then they'll sign again, and then they won't sign again, because it's just gonna be hyped to build up the movies. They know this partnership works for both of them.
Yeah.
There's no way that they don't continue making billions of dollars, right? So they're like, don't ever believe that shit. It's gonna continue happening, and if it does, 5 years from now, 6 years from now, when the Young Avengers are established, he might be too old for that role, anyways.
Yeah.
Or to be a part of that group, he might be just Avengers level at that moment.
Imagine when they retire this guy's jersey. Holy.
Do you know they have a bunch of different theories? That eye at the end, where Doctor Strange in the end credits,
the third eye,
that's influenced because of the Darkhold. That third eye is supposed to see dark dimension forces. That's why he was able to see. Oh no, sorry. The theory is he has scarlet magic now. He has chaos magic because Darkhold gave it to him.
Yeah.
And now he's able to use the third eye and go into that dimension. That girl,
his wife,
Clea, I think her name is.
Yeah.
His future wife. She's Dormammu's niece. I don't even know how that makes sense, but she's Dormammu's niece.
I gotta tap in because I actually don't know anything about her character.
Yeah, I don't know either. I don't know too much either, but I just heard she was the niece. What else? What other theories are there? There's actually a bunch of pretty cool ones. Do you have any?
The dream one. The dream one is actually a big one. So in the movie they say that like when you dream, it's just something that's going on in like another universe, or it's a replica of another universe. And then, I was
Which
supposed to
kind
have
of didn't
them
make
all.
sense at the time because they're like, you know, the dream where you have you falling. Yeah, that's probably a different universe. How many people are falling? Like, why are you saying the same dream? If he fell already and he's dead, like,
And he had another dream of him falling.
yeah, like,
Because the universe it could be mad repetitive. Based
sure.
off what if, it looks like the universe can be very, very, very repetitive.
Yeah.
Like there was dreams, like there wasn't a lot of times where they dreamed in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. There's one where there was Tony was talking to what's that one girl's the redhead,
his wife, and he
his
said, "I
secretary.
named that we have a kid."
Yeah,
and his
that
name
was
is
just that
Mark.
was something that was going on in another universe. I gotta type it up because I remember like there's like a dreams like there. Ah man.
Okay, while you search it, there's another one I have. They also said like if you dream walking can cause collisions, right? Calamities.
Yeah.
That's how like when they fought the Illuminati, that Doctor Strange screwed up. He stayed in dream walking for too long, and if you're from one universe and you come to my universe, now you don't belong there, and like for some reason like the universe knows like your cell is vibrated at a different, I don't know, but it causes two universes to crash into each other, right? And that's the calamity. So now we know, like with that being said, wouldn't that mean that we can never take somebody from a different universe and put them in our universe, because then it would cause the calamity? We can only have what we have in our universe. We can never take from anybody else, even if we know that they're there. So we know that to be true. So how does the Kang situation work? How does the Loki things go through? Like, I'm not sure. Like the TVA is a different area, which I also still don't get. How many different areas are you gonna have? Like the Book of Ashanti was an area within dimensions. Everybody links to that one, and it's like a safe zone. TVA is a safe zone. Is that in the quantum realm? Like what's going on? How many zones are there where it doesn't affect timelines or universes?
It is kind of consistent though. They did keep it kind of consistent. Like because when they took the Infinity Stones, they had to return the Infinity Stones. You're right. TVA was the safe zone. Kong seems to be in like some sort of safe zone.
They took the Infinity Stones away and put them in the TVA agents when we were watching Loki, and I said, how does that make sense?
But maybe they destroyed. That could have destroyed that dimension.
That timeline,
because it feels like it does look like they don't care like about like destroying another timeline as long as the main timeline stays in sync.
You got
man,
dreams?
I really can't find any of these dreams. There's one with like Tony and he's talking to his girl. Like I'm trying to find a list of dreams. Like damn it. How many dreams were there? Like I think there's only 3. Oh my god. Marvel. This is actually a terrible part. List of dreams. Oh, someone's talking.
Sorry. So yeah, there's just a bunch of like certain scenarios that I did enjoy. I hope we see Wanda again. That's like, she's my favorite character. Would you say any character like competes with her?
Yes. That I like more?
No, like
or fighting wise,
strength, MCU.
Nah, maybe Captain Marvel is the closest one.
Nah, she's getting dusted because she's more closer to Thor than anything, and I'm pretty sure they had it on their website that they rated Thor slightly higher
than her. You know, Thor doesn't use witchcraft or sorcery.
Nah, his is just straight power.
Yeah, which
his has like something like, you know how they have Phoenix. They have what's it called? Odin Force. It's kind of like that level.
My bad. I'm doing so bad because I want to find these dreams because I remember looking at it. I'm like, okay, whatever. I can't find these dreams. I'll post it like later. Oh,
in the multiverse, when they were traveling through the multiverse, we also saw like a quick second of the Living Tribunal's heads, but they weren't connected like they are
in the Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, like when they were going through, you know how they went to the Paint universe. And
yeah.
They went through one where the 3 heads of the Living Tribunal were looking at them, but they weren't connected as normal, and they were just like side by side.
I don't remember seeing that.
You'll have to look it up, But that's the second time we've seen the Living Tribunal's head. The first one was his head was chopped off in the TVA, that zone where just before they meet Kang, that area.
Yeah.
His head was there. So that's the second time we saw that, which was pretty cool.
I actually don't remember. I remember the other one, but I don't remember him in the
pretty much like he fell
Madness.
asleep on this one too.
What was your favorite Multiverse of Madness universe? Or what stood out to you? Not favorite, but what stood out to you? Like when you seen them going through the universe, you're like, oh my god, that looks sick.
Nothing.
The paint one, I don't know why, the paint one really stood out to me.
The one where they actually get to walk around with the Illuminati.
Yeah.
They had a bunch of buildings with it was like
mad futuristic, right?
It was futuristic with plants and still.
Yeah.
And it was still made sense in the concept, and that's what they did with the Avengers Tower in Spider-Man No Way Home at the end.
Yeah.
And that's because of Reed Richards. Reed Richards' technology is crazy, and I'm pretty sure he teleports in when he doesn't walk in. He teleports into the Illuminati thing. So I noticed those were pretty cool.
You know what I liked about that one is I think they took from memes, the memes that are oh, this is what it will look like if this is such and such happened, or this will look like if LeBron never came back 3-1, some random memes like that. It actually looked like a still from those memes. I don't know if you've ever seen those, or this will there's memes where they throw the most random situations and it'll say this would be the world if this happened. So I think they took that from that. You gotta
this
see
is how
it.
the world would be if my stocks didn't go down.
Oh, oof.
But that's pretty much it. I have nothing else to go off of.
So I guess we'll hop to the rating. I'll rate this a 7 out of 10 or 7.5 out of 10. Yeah.
This guy's bugging, bro.
It wasn't super special. It wasn't super sick. It was just good.
It was just good. I feel like they did a lot of fan service for me, which I enjoyed, but the story was pretty good too.
Yeah.
I would give it an 8.6.
8.6?
I really liked it. This is one of my top movies. And maybe it's because I was really hoping it would be good and show Wanda off. And then I was like, you know what, it's not gonna do it. And then it did it. So maybe that plays a big role in my.
It might need a elite list of
Marvel movies.
Yeah.
It beats a lot of them, to be honest.
The what's the tier list? The Marvel movie tier list.
Didn't we have a tier list?
Not for Marvel movies.
Oh, we gotta do one soon.
Anime tier list. Oh, we might need one for anime characters.
Oh yeah, I see them all the time, and they're rating a bunch of characters at top tier, and I'm like, whoa. They have. Well, I haven't watched it, but they have Eren Yeager at S tier, and I'm like, whoa.
Eren Yeager might be S tier character.
I don't know.
We'll save that for another time.
But all right. But you would recommend it for sure. I'd recommend it for sure.
100% recommend.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna try to watch. We might get a Moon Knight review out, so you can check into that. We want to do some more challenges, some Star Wars quizzes. So we'll keep you guys posted. We're gonna try to make it more weekly again, bi-weekly uploads. Just tell us what you thought in the comments.
And sorry, one last thing. When the Hogwarts Legacy comes out, hopefully, if I'm not in school, I actually want to do a dual stream. How Supreme Dreams does the game streams, but just for Hogwarts Legacy. I think it'll be hilarious. I don't know. I just don't know if I want to set it up where we both have the same characters and we do the same things and kind of react, or if we just play one character. Is it not
multiplayer?
I don't think the story is multiplayer.
I don't know.
So I think that would be sick. Just going through Hogwarts.
I have to be the best at that game. There's not a question.
Oh my god.
There's not a question because these guys are gonna hate if I'm not the best, and then they're gonna talk a lot if they are the best. So I can't allow it. I'm gonna have to be the best.
Let's clip this and then let's do one slight video where we just talk about Hogwarts Legacy.
All right, bet.
All right, guys.
That's it. Like, comment, and subscribe. But we're out.
Easy.